This fight is incredible. If you want some tips and tricks for playing this encounter as a Ret Paladin, you're in the right place. This video is going to be a little different for me. I'll have the gameplay rolling in the background, and we'll provide commentary as the fight progresses. Hope you learn something new. Enjoy! So on pole, there's really nothing too spectacular here. You're just going to send and get into your rotation. The memory game's coming up, and with the memory game, we handled it by using markers on the floors. Your guild might do something different, but either way, go to the spot you're assigned to, should be okay. I didn't get assigned here, so I just kept doing my thing. There's really nothing going on for the first part of the fight, but the first major mechanic outside is going to be the Heaven's Glaives. One of the things I like to do here is aim more towards the center of the room. It gives enough space so when the glaives bounce off the walls, you have a little bit more time to respond. That's just a little bit safer. Otherwise, keep moving. You are going to want to be really keeping an eye out for these glaives. They're one of the only major things that can kill you, but they do a fair bit of damage. See, there's one coming from behind. You'll want to sidestep. As far as Safeguard Prism goes, the best way to do this is use Arcane Torrent if you're a Blood Elf, or you're going to use your Blinding Light. So one of the things you're going to really want to do here with these Midnight Crystals is you're going to want to maximize your execution sentence. So ideally your group before you send it. If not, you're not going to get as much damage here. We've got our second memory game. Yet again, same thing as the first one. You'll go to your assigned marker and be in a good spot. The next thing here is going to be glaives. We're going to do the same thing. Be positioned towards the boss. Glaives are going to go out. You're going to be in a safe area. And you're going to move after the beam. Keep dodging the glaives. A little bit more going on here. Especially watch out on the ones through the boss because they look identical to Lura. And then we're going to rinse and repeat. This second round of kicks, we don't really have much to contribute, so sometimes it takes a second for these to go through. We will want to time our puzzle box to be done and completed by the time these things expire, but it can be a little tricky at times. See, I held mine for a second. I have to wait for grouping. We were a bit slow here, and then I'm going to send. We only have a couple more things left in this phase. We're going to have a memory game into glaives. But then glaives are going to come up. We're going to do the same thing where we position them towards the edge. Okay, we'll do actually a big move here. Yep, position towards the wall. And you're safe. So now we're in intermission. This can get a little bit spicy, but for the most part, you're just going to want to stick in a safe location where you're not surrounded by a ton of people. You will want to use your Divine Protection and Shield of Vengeance here when the going gets a little tough. See, I popped it here because I know the damage is going to start to ramp soon. And then we're just going to go into our Execution Sentence combo. Nothing too exciting, just follow the rotation, keep on going and dodging. The best thing you can do is just stay in position if you're not getting hit by something. If something goes wrong and you have to soak these, make sure you readjust. See how I snagged that one there. Otherwise, we're going to transition into phase 2 in just a moment. And I actually quite like this phase. We did this a little different, so we're going to stack on our markers with very little movement. We had some troubles really hitting these correctly, so for us, we end up positioned directly to the right of Star. We're going to get in our line, and these things hit pretty hard, so you watch the race health get chunked here. Yeah, big damage. You don't really have to fight the vacuum, just make sure you're out of the middle before you have to dodge here. And so we're just doing our rotation here. Yep, big dodge, and then reorient back to Star. And so at this point, you want to get your trinket off cooldown, so you send that puzzle box. Same thing here, we hit the Galvanize. I use Divine Protection here because it is going to hit pretty hard. We were slightly out of position there, but we made it work. And then we're going to move left and then dodge. Okay, so for this last beam set, I do believe I Divine Shield this one. At least how we planned our raid cooldowns, it did hit the hardest of the bunch. So just got in place, used my Divine Shield, perfectly safe. We'll rotate left and then we'll be out of this phase in just a moment. The last phase isn't too exciting. There's only going to be one drop. There's only one major thing we need to look out for, and I'll point it out in a moment after we transition. But you'll get knocked back in this direction. So we stack on Skull with the crystal holders on the right, so we get knocked back. And then the phase starts. For us, all we gotta do is just do damage here. You're gonna make sure you're gonna be in the crystals to be safe. So just do a rotation. We're gonna get this going off in a moment. We get knocked back. We try to have our crystal holders move up and drop it so we still stay in melee range of the boss. They dropped a little bit further back this time, but it wasn't perfect. And the last mechanic we're gonna have to do here is going to be the star soaks. So we're gonna stand in these stars. So our tanks didn't move the boss very well. He's still a little bit out of melee range, which is quite bothersome, but you know, it is what it is. Our tank should have been in the soak with us. And then we just kill the boss. If you found this content interesting or helpful, let me know. If not, let me know too. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one.